The massive alien ships appeared in Earth's orbit on a Tuesday morning. Captain Jin stood on the bridge of the Earth Defense Station, watching the strange vessels through the main screen. His hands gripped the metal rail as he counted 12. Enormous ships, each one bigger than any building he had ever seen. "They're beautiful," whispered Lieutenant Han, who stood beside him. The alien ships looked like giant silver flowers floating in space, with light dancing across their smooth surfaces. Captain Jin nodded. 3 months ago, humanity had tested their first faster-than-light engine. The small ship had traveled to the nearest star and back in just 2 days. It was humanity's greatest achievement. Now it seemed the universe had noticed. A soft chime filled the bridge. Communications Officer Kim looked up from her station with wide eyes. "Captain, they're sending a message. It's in perfect Korean and English." "Put it through," Jin said, straightening his uniform. The main screen changed to show a tall, thin creature with pale blue skin and large dark eyes. When it spoke, its voice was calm and musical. "Greetings, people of Earth. I am Ambassador Veltar of the Galactic Coalition. We come in peace to welcome you to the greater community of worlds." Captain Jin stepped forward. "Welcome to Earth's space, Ambassador. I am Captain Jin of the Earth Defense Force. We are honored by your visit." Veltar smiled, showing small white teeth. "Your species has achieved faster-than-light travel. This makes you ready to join the galaxy's civilized worlds. We wish to learn about your culture and share ours with you." For the next hour, the conversation continued smoothly. The aliens seemed friendly and curious about human life. They asked about Earth's history, its animals, and how humans live together. Captain Jin found himself relaxing as he answered their questions. Then everything changed. A different alien appeared on the screen behind Veltar. This one had gray skin and wore what looked like a military uniform. He was looking at some kind of device in his hands, and his face showed pure terror. "Ambassador," the military alien said in a shaking voice. "You need to see these readings immediately." Veltar turned away from the communication screen. Captain Jin could hear them talking in their own language, but their voices were too quiet to understand. However, he could see the military alien pointing at his device with trembling fingers. Suddenly, Veltar spun back toward the screen. His calm expression was gone, replaced by something that looked like panic. "Captain Jin, has your species been conducting deep planetary scans?" "Deep scans?" Jin asked, confused. "We study our planet's geology, if that's what you mean. We drill for oil and study earthquakes." "Why do you ask?" The military alien appeared beside Veltar, his gray face now completely white. "Captain, this is Military Advisor Kreshmol. We need to know exactly what lies beneath your planet's surface. Our sensors have detected something that should not exist." Lieutenant Han moved closer to Captain Jin. "Sir, what are they talking about?" Jin shook his head. "I don't know." He looked back at the screen. "Ambassador, our scientists can share our geological data with you. Earth has a molten iron core, tectonic plates, and various mineral deposits. Is there something specific you're looking for?" Veltar and Kreshmol exchanged a look that made Captain Jin's stomach feel cold. The ambassador took a deep breath before speaking again. "Captain, our advanced scanners have detected an energy signature coming from deep within your planet's core. This signature matches theoretical readings for something called a void anchor." "What's a void anchor?" asked Communications Officer Kim. Kreshmol's voice was barely a whisper. "A weapon that can destroy reality itself." The bridge of the Earth Defense Station fell completely silent. Captain Jin felt his heart beating fast in his chest. "That's impossible. Humans have never built such a weapon. We barely understand our own planet's core." "The readings don't lie," Veltar said sadly. "And if our sensors are correct, this weapon is not dormant. It's actively generating energy patterns that could unravel the fabric of space and time." Suddenly, alarms began ringing on the alien ships. Through the screen, Jin could see lights flashing in the background behind the ambassador. "All Coalition ships, immediate retreat to maximum safe distance," Kreshmol shouted to his crew. "Emergency protocols are now in effect." "Wait!" Captain Jin called out. "We can explain this. Let us send our scientists to meet with you." But Veltar was already backing away from his communication device. "Captain Jin, for the safety of both our species, we must withdraw. Do not attempt to follow us. And whatever you do not disturb whatever lies beneath your world." The screen went black. Within minutes, all 12 alien ships had moved so far away that Earth sensors could barely detect them. Captain Jin stared at the empty space where the ships had been. Lieutenant Han broke the silence first. "Sir, what just happened?" Jin shook his head slowly. "I think we just discovered that Earth is hiding something that scares an entire galactic civilization." He turned to Communications Officer Kim. "Get me Dr. Na at the Planetary Research Center. We need to find out what's really buried beneath our feet." 3 days passed before the aliens agreed to meet again. Captain Jin had sent dozens of messages asking for answers, but the coalition ships remained far away from Earth, like frightened animals hiding from a predator. Finally, Ambassador Veltar agreed to meet at Harmony Station, a small research outpost that humans had built halfway between Earth and Mars. The location was far enough from Earth to make the aliens feel safe, but close enough for human ships to reach quickly. Captain Jin brought Dr. Na, Earth's best planetary scientist, and Lieutenant Han as his security officer. They waited in the station's main meeting room, watching through the large windows as a single alien ship approached. It moved slowly and carefully, as if the pilot expected something terrible to happen at any moment. When Ambassador Veltar entered the room, Jin was shocked by how different he looked. 3 days ago, the alien had seemed calm and confident. Now his blue skin looked pale and his large dark eyes kept moving around the room as if searching for hidden dangers. Behind him walked military advisor Kreshimol, whose gray skin had turned an unhealthy white color. Both aliens sat down across from the humans, but they kept their chairs as far away as possible. "Thank you for coming," Captain Jin said. "We need to understand what happened. Why did your ships flee from Earth?" Veltar's hands shook as he placed them on the table. "Captain, what I am about to tell you may sound like ancient stories or religious myths, but I assure you every word is true." Dr. Na leaned forward with interest. She was a small woman with short black hair and intelligent eyes. "We're scientists, Ambassador. We deal with facts, not myths." Kreshmal made a sound that might have been laughter, but it sounded more like crying. "Facts? The fact is that your planet contains something that should have been destroyed billions of years ago. Please, start from the beginning," Lieutenant Han said quietly. Veltar took a deep breath. "Long ago, before any of our current civilizations existed, there was a race called the First Ones. They were incredibly advanced, with technology that could bend reality itself. They created weapons of unimaginable power." "What kind of weapons?" Dr. Na asked. "The most terrible was called a void anchor," Kreshmal whispered. "It is a device that can tear holes in the fabric of space and time. When activated, it doesn't just destroy planets or star systems. It can unravel entire sections of the universe, making them cease to exist." Captain Jin felt a cold feeling in his stomach. "And you think there's one of these weapons buried under Earth?" "Our scanners don't lie," Veltar said sadly. "The energy signature coming from your planet's core matches exactly what our scientists predict a void anchor would produce." Dr. Na shook her head firmly. "That's impossible. Earth is only 4.5 billion years old. Human civilization has existed for maybe 10,000 years. We've never built anything more advanced than nuclear weapons." "The void anchors were not built by younger races," Kreshmal explained. "The first ones placed them on worlds throughout the galaxy as ultimate deterrents. If any planet was ever in danger of falling to certain cosmic threats, the void anchor could be activated to destroy everything rather than let those threats spread." "Cosmic threats?" Lieutenant Han asked. "What kind of threats?" The two aliens looked at each other with fear in their eyes. Veltar spoke very quietly. "There are things in the dark spaces between galaxies, Captain. Things that consume reality itself. The first ones built the void anchors as a last defense against such horrors." Dr. Na pulled out her tablet and began taking notes. "If this weapon Has been buried under Earth for billions of years. Why hasn't it activated? What keeps it dormant? We don't know, Kreshmal admitted. Perhaps it requires specific conditions. Perhaps it's waiting for a particular signal. The technology of the first ones is beyond our understanding. Captain Jin stood up and walked to the window, looking toward Earth's distant blue dot. What happens if we try to study it? If we drill down toward our planet's core? Both aliens jumped to their feet. No, Veltar shouted. You must never disturb it. Even the smallest interference could trigger activation. The energy readings we detected are already at dangerous levels, Kreshmal added urgently. Any disruption could cause a chain reaction that would destroy not just Earth, but this entire solar system, and possibly everything within 100 light-years. Dr. Na looked up from her tablet. But how do we know it won't activate on its own? If it's been stable for billions of years, what guarantee do we have that it will stay that way? Veltar sat back down heavily. We don't have any guarantees, Dr. Na. That's why the Coalition Council has voted to establish a quarantine zone around your solar system. No ships may approach within 50 light-years of Earth. You're imprisoning us, Lieutenant Han protested. We're protecting the galaxy, Kreshmal replied sadly. If the void anchor activates, the destruction could spread through space like a disease. We cannot take that risk. Captain Jin turned back to face the aliens. What if you're wrong? What if our planet's core is just producing unusual energy for natural reasons? Veltar's expression was full of sorrow. Captain Jin, I pray to all the stars in the sky that we are wrong. But the Coalition has seen 3 void anchor activations in recorded history. Each time, entire civilizations vanished without a trace. We cannot ignore the readings. The room fell silent as the weight of the aliens' words settled over everyone. Earth, humanity's home, might be sitting on top of a weapon that could destroy the universe itself. Dr. Na could not sleep. For 2 weeks since the meeting at Harmony Station, she had spent every waking hour thinking about the alien claims. A weapon buried beneath Earth that could destroy the universe? It seemed impossible, but the aliens' fear had been real. She sat in her laboratory at the Planetary Research Center, surrounded by computer screens showing data about Earth's core. Her coffee had grown cold hours ago, but she barely noticed. Lieutenant Han had visited twice to check on her, but she had sent him away both times. There has to be another explanation, she whispered to herself, pulling up another set of readings. Dr. Na had assembled a team of the world's best scientists to help her investigate. Dr. Wu, a quantum physicist from Seoul, had brought equipment that could scan deeper into Earth than any machine built before. Dr. Park, a geologist from Busan, had provided detailed maps of Earth's internal structure. Dr. Lee, who studied energy patterns, had created new ways to measure the strange signals coming from the planet's core. On Tuesday morning, Dr. Wu burst into the U laboratory with excitement written all over his face. Dr. Na, you need to see these readings immediately. Dr. Na looked up from her computer, her eyes red from lack of sleep. What did you find? Dr. Wu placed his tablet on her desk, showing a complex pattern of energy waves. I've been analyzing the quantum signatures coming from Earth's core. The aliens were right about one thing. There is definitely unusual energy down there. But it's not what they think it is. What do you mean? Dr. Na asked, leaning closer to study the patterns. Look at these wavelengths. Dr. Wu pointed to specific lines on the graph. This isn't the signature of an artificial weapon. This is natural energy that's been building up for billions of years. Dr. Na frowned. Natural energy? But the aliens said their scanners detected a void anchor. Dr. Park entered the laboratory, at that moment, carrying an armload of geological surveys. Did someone mention the core energy? Because I think I know what's causing it. Both scientists turned to look at him. Dr. Park spread his maps across a large table and pointed to a cross-section diagram of Earth's interior. Earth's molten iron core has been spinning and moving for over 4 billion years, he explained. All that motion creates electromagnetic fields, but our planet's core is different from other worlds in one important way. How is it different? Dr. Na asked. The iron in Earth's core contains trace amounts of rare elements that don't exist on most planets. When these elements interact with the spinning motion and electromagnetic fields, they create something unique, a quantum field that extends throughout the entire planet. Dr. Wu's eyes widened with understanding. A quantum field that affects how reality works around Earth. Dr. Na felt a strange excitement building in her chest. Show me exactly how this field works. For the next 3 hours, the three scientists worked together to map the quantum field's effects. What they discovered changed everything they thought they knew about Earth and humanity. Dr. Lee joined them in the afternoon, bringing even more surprising data. I've been studying how this quantum field interacts with different types of energy, she said. The results are incredible. She connected her computer to the main screen and showed them a simulation. This field doesn't just exist, it actively disrupts certain types of energy patterns. Specifically, it interferes with what we call psionic or psychic energy. Dr. Na stared at the simulation. Psychic energy? You mean like mind reading and telepathy? Exactly. Dr. Lee nodded. Most alien species have evolved to use psychic abilities as part of their daily lives. They communicate through thought, manipulate objects with their minds, and even alter reality on small scales using psychic power. Dr. Wu suddenly understood. But Earth's quantum field blocks those abilities. More than blocks them, Dr. Park added grimly. It completely nullifies them. Any creature that relies on psychic abilities would feel powerless and vulnerable near Earth. Dr. Na sat down slowly as the full truth became clear. That's why the aliens were so afraid. Their scanners detected the quantum field, but they didn't understand what it was. To them, it looked like a weapon because it destroys their most basic survival tools. We're not harboring a weapon, Dr. Wu said with wonder. We are the weapon. Dr. Lee pulled up more data. This quantum field is why life evolved differently on Earth. While other planets developed creatures with psychic abilities, Earth's field forced life to evolve using only physical and mental skills. Humans became naturally immune to psychic manipulation. Think about it, Dr. Park said excitedly. Every human is like a walking dead zone to aliens who depend on psychic powers. We don't just resist their abilities, we completely cancel them out. Dr. Na stood up and walked to the window, looking out at the city beyond. Millions of humans lived their daily lives, completely unaware that they were each carrying a natural defense system that could neutralize advanced alien abilities. The aliens think we're dangerous because their sensors can't tell the difference between a weapon that destroys psychic energy and a natural field that blocks it, she said quietly. Doctor, Wu joined her at the window. The question is, what do we do with this information? Dr. Na smiled for the first time in weeks. We prove to the galaxy that Earth isn't hiding a weapon of mass destruction. We're hiding something much more important, the ultimate defense against creatures that would control minds and bend reality. 6 months had passed since Dr. Na's discovery about Earth's quantum field. The team had spent weeks trying to contact the Galactic Coalition to share their findings, but the alien ships remained far away, still afraid to approach Earth's solar system. Captain Jin had been promoted to admiral and now commanded Earth's small but growing space fleet. The government had built 12 new ships using improved, faster-than-light engines, hoping to prove to the galaxy that humans were not a threat. On a quiet Thursday morning, everything changed. Admiral Jin was reviewing reports in his office when alarms began screaming throughout the space station. Lieutenant Han rushed into the room, his face pale with fear. "Admiral, you need to see this immediately," Han said, pointing toward the main screen. The display showed space around Earth, but something was terribly wrong. Dark shapes were appearing everywhere, not ships, but holes in space itself. Through these holes came creatures that hurt to look at directly. They seemed to be made of shadow and emptiness, constantly changing shape like smoke in the wind. "What are those things?" Jin asked, though part of him already knew he wouldn't like the answer. Before Han could respond, Dr. Na's voice came through the communication system. She was calling from the research center on Earth's surface. "Admiral Jin, are you seeing this? The quantum readings are off every scale we have." "Dr. Na, what are we dealing with?" Jin asked. "I think these are the cosmic threats the aliens mentioned," Her voice was shaking. The things that the first ones built their weapons to fight against. Across the galaxy, the same dark creatures were appearing near every inhabited world. The Galactic Coalition fleet tried to fight back, but their weapons passed harmlessly through the shadow beings. Within minutes, something much worse began happening. Admiral Jin watched in horror as Coalition ships suddenly turned and began attacking each other. Through the communication channels, he could hear alien voices, but they sounded different, empty and mechanical. "All Coalition vessels, surrender your worlds to the eternal hunger," came a voice that might have once belonged to Ambassador Veltar. "Resistance brings only suffering." "They're controlling the aliens' minds," Dr. Na said over the comm. "These creatures, I'm calling them devourers, they take over other beings using psychic domination." Lieutenant Han looked at the screen where Coalition ships were destroying their own space stations. "Why aren't they controlling us?" Dr. Na's voice suddenly became excited. "Because they can't. Earth's quantum field is protecting us. The same energy that scared the aliens is making us immune to the Devourer's mind control." Admiral Jin felt a cold realization settling in his stomach. "Dr. Na, if these things can control every other species in the galaxy, then humanity is the only free civilization left," she finished quietly. Commander Min's voice crackled through the communications from his ship, the Earth's Pride. "Admiral, I'm detecting Devourer entities approaching our solar system. What are your orders?" Jin looked at the tactical display. 12 human ships against creatures that had just conquered an entire galaxy in less than an hour. The odds were impossible. "All ships, maintain defensive positions around Earth," he ordered. "We don't know what these things are capable of." The Devourers arrived like a wave of darkness rolling through space. There were hundreds of them, each one the size of a building, moving without any visible means of propulsion. As they approached the human fleet, something unexpected happened. The shadow creatures began to flicker and fade like bad television reception. Their smooth movement became jerky and unstable. "Admiral!" Commander Min's voice was filled with amazement. "They're having trouble maintaining their form near our ships." Dr. Na's voice came through again, this time filled with understanding. "The quantum field isn't just protecting our minds, it's disrupting their ability to exist in our reality. These creatures phase between dimensions using psychic energy, but Earth's field is blocking that ability." Admiral Jin saw his opportunity. "All ships, close formation. Get as close to those things as possible." The human fleet moved forward, and the effect became even more dramatic. Devourers that had seemed invincible moments before were now struggling to maintain physical form. Some of them began making sounds like screaming wind. "Fire all weapons," Jin commanded. Missiles and energy beams that would normally pass harmlessly through the shadow creatures now struck solid targets. The Devourers, unable to phase between dimensions, were suddenly vulnerable to conventional weapons. The battle lasted 3 hours. Ship after ship of Devourers fell to human weapons, their forms dissolving into nothing when destroyed. Commander Min led daring attacks that saved 2 Coalition vessels whose crews had broken free from mind control when nearby Devourers were destroyed. When the last shadow creature was defeated, space around Earth fell silent. Dr. Na's voice came through the comm system one final time. "Admiral, I'm reading quantum disruptions throughout the galaxy. Every time we destroyed a Devourer near Earth, it sent shockwaves through their psychic network. I think we may have freed everyone." Admiral Jin looked at the stars, knowing that somewhere out there, alien civilizations were waking up from a nightmare, wondering how they had been saved. Lieutenant Han spoke quietly. "Sir, I don't think the galaxy will be afraid of us anymore." Jin nodded slowly. Humanity had just proven that they weren't harboring a weapon of mass destruction. They had proven something far more important, that they were the galaxy's natural immune system against threats that transcended physical reality. Earth's greatest secret wasn't buried beneath the planet's surface. It was walking around on the surface, in the form of every human being who had ever lived. 2 months after the defeat of the Devourers, representatives from across the galaxy gathered at a newly built space station called Unity Point. The station floated in neutral space, halfway between Earth and the Coalition's capital world. Ambassador Yu walked through the station's main corridor, her black uniform bearing the new symbol of Earth's Galactic Defense Force. Behind her followed Dr. Na, now appointed as Earth's Chief Science Advisor, and Admiral Jin, who had become humanity's most respected military leader. The main assembly hall was filled with hundreds of alien species, all of them looking at the human delegation with expressions that mixed gratitude, respect, and lingering amazement. Ambassador Veltar, his blue skin now healthy and bright again, stood to greet them. "Ambassador Yu," he said with a deep bow. "The Coalition Council is ready to hear Earth's proposal for the galaxy's new structure." Yu nodded politely. She had been chosen for this role because of her calm manner and skill with languages. In just 2 months, she had learned to speak with 12 different alien species. "Thank you, Ambassador Veltar. Before we begin, Dr. Na has important information to share about Earth's true nature." Dr. Na stepped forward, carrying a small device that projected holographic images into the air above the assembly. The first image showed Earth's core with its swirling quantum field. "Fellow beings of the galaxy," she began, "we now understand the full truth about why Earth frightened your sensors. The energy signature you detected was not a weapon built by the first ones. It was something far more important." The hologram changed to show the galaxy as it existed billions of years ago. Ancient worlds glowed with strange light, and massive structures floated between the stars. The first ones were facing the same threat we just defeated, reality-eating entities from outside our universe. But instead of building weapons to destroy these creatures, they created something more clever. Dr. Na gestured, and the hologram zoomed in on a young Earth. They found worlds with the right geological conditions and seeded them with special elements. Over billions of years, these worlds would develop natural quantum fields that could disrupt psychic energy. A Coalition scientist with purple skin raised one of his forearms. "Dr. Na, are you saying Earth was deliberately chosen?" "Not just chosen," Dr. Na smiled. "Engineered. The first ones guided Earth's development to create the perfect conditions for life that would be immune to psychic control. Humanity didn't evolve by accident. We were designed to be the galaxy's immune system." Excited murmurs filled the assembly hall. Ambassador Veltar looked amazed. "How many other worlds like Earth exist?" Admiral Jin stepped forward to answer. "Our deep space scouts have found 17 planets with similar quantum signatures. Most are uninhabited, but 3 have developed their own versions of resistant life forms." "This changes everything," whispered military advisor Kreshamol. "The Coalition spent millennia searching for weapons to fight cosmic threats. The first ones had already provided the solution." Ambassador Yu raised her hand for attention. "Which brings us to Earth's proposal. The galaxy needs a new defense system, one based on cooperation rather than fear." The holographic display changed to show a map of the galaxy with Earth at the center of a network of patrol routes. Small symbols marked space stations and fleet positions throughout known space. "We propose the creation of the Galactic Immune System," Yu announced. "Human crews will be stationed throughout the galaxy, ready to respond to any psychic threats that emerge. We will also share our quantum field technology to help protect vulnerable worlds." Dr. Li, who had remained quiet until now, stepped forward with additional data. "We've discovered how to create artificial quantum generators. These devices can be installed on space stations and important worlds to provide limited protection against psychic attacks." A tall alien with silver skin and large eyes spoke up. "What does Earth require in return for this protection?" Yu smiled. "Normally, knowledge. The Coalition has technologies and scientific understanding that humanity lacks. We propose equal sharing of all research and discoveries. Together, we can prepare for any threats that might come from beyond our galaxy." For the next 6 hours, the assembly worked out the details of the new galactic structure. Human ships would patrol the outer regions of known space, while Coalition vessels would handle internal security and exploration. Every world would contribute resources and knowledge to the shared defense network. As the formal meetings ended, Dr. Na found herself standing alone on an observation deck, looking out at the stars. Dr. Wu joined her, carrying 2 cups of coffee. "Hard to believe how much has changed," he said, offering her a cup. Dr. Na accepted the coffee gratefully. 6 months ago, we thought we were alone in the universe. Now we're responsible for protecting an entire galaxy. Do you think there are other threats out there? Wu asked. Things worse than the Devourers? Dr. Na sipped her coffee and considered the question. Probably. The universe is vast and full of mysteries. But now we know humanity has a purpose. We're not just explorers or scientists or warriors, we're guardians. Admiral Jin's voice came over the station's communication system. All Earth personnel, prepare for departure. We have our first patrol assignment. Dr. Na smiled as she watched. Human ships moving into formation with coalition vessels. The galaxy would never be the same, but for the first time in billions of years, it had real hope for survival. The weapon buried beneath Earth had turned out to be something far more valuable than any destructive device. It was the foundation for a new era of galactic cooperation and safety.